Are you aware that what you think is how you feel? Don't ask, how are you doing? You're going to ask, hey, what are you thinking? What are you thinking today? It says you are different. Because you don't act like them, talk like them, eat what they eat, you are not normal. And his mind and his heart could not make sense of what others are saying about him and what he thinks of himself. Does anybody relate to this? I can relate to that. The feeling of needing to be more understood and fitting. We should know that whatever disturbs our focus, generates negative feelings, and make us act strangely and unlovingly to ourselves, disrupts our inner peace. Now, how do you deal with it? Do you push yourself to be like them so you can blend in? Or do you stay and defend until they listen? Or do you walk away and move on? Hi, this is Dr. Adelita. Welcome to my Sunday Drive. This is my weekly live to give you a weekly dose of knowledge, motivation, and support as you navigate your way to a healthy physical and mental wellness. I am an internal medicine doctor practicing lifestyle medicine as well. That's the first prescription for managing, treating, and potentially reversing chronic diseases. In short, I use nutrition and healthy lifestyle habits as the first prescription and a drug of choice for chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, gout, autoimmune allergies, etc. Well, today I have a question. And we're going to circle around this question and discuss thoroughly, as this is something that we often kind of, not pay attention to, but yet it's important. My question is, are you aware that what you think is how you feel? We typically ask a friend or anybody we meet that we know of. We ask, hey, how are you doing today? How are you feeling? Is everything okay? Now, that's not the kind of question I will be focusing on today. No, not that kind of question. If you want to know somebody or yourself how you feel or how that person feel, this is my tip. Don't ask, how are you doing? You're going to ask, hey, what are you thinking? What are you thinking today? Today, let's check in with how we think and not how we feel. Because as I've said, what you think is what you're going to feel. So why don't we talk about what you think, right? Do you have kids? If you do, freely type that in our comment section. I have kids. I have twin boys and they're 14 years old. It's interesting how the parenting world has changed over the last decades. I mean, I don't remember my mom having had to worry about what I was thinking when I was down or just feeling, low and going through the usual teenage crisis when I was still a teenager or young adult. I don't remember that they come and check me on what I was thinking. Not that my parents were, didn't care about me then. But now, as I'm talking to my mom, she tells me, you know what? I didn't really pick up any signs or signals from you that you're going through something that I needed to worry about. I guess change. I guess things have changed, especially for teenagers and young adults. But if you're a millennial parent to a teenager, I think you know what I'm talking about. I want to talk about the challenge that my son went through this week. This week was quite a tough week for him. I had to cancel my cooking plan, leave the kitchen, and straight head to his room. See, for the last couple of days, I noticed he's been quite different. He was quiet during mealtime. He just stays in his room and comes out when it's dinner time, lunchtime, or whatever that I need him, and I called him out, but he doesn't come out in his room otherwise. He looks bothered, and sometimes I catch him looking mad and annoyed at himself. So I decided to stop whatever, drop whatever I was doing. That was 4 days ago, and then engage him in a conversation. At first, he was closed and guarded. He denied that something was wrong. He made an alibi. I knew it was an alibi. He said, you know, this is why I acted the way I did. And I didn't buy it. He said he was just sleepy and tired from school. Um, but I insisted. I told him, you know what? I could feel something was wrong. Something was wrong, and it's in his head. And I needed him to tell me about it because I can't read his mind. And this time, because I stayed and I didn't budge, I keep asking him questions, um, in a non-judgmental way, and his eyes started to swell up with tears. I knew he was trying to control his tears from falling, but hey, he could not stop the corners of his mouth from moving in different direction, something like that. And I know he was about to cry, and I said, "Let it go." He cried, and finally he started talking. He tells me how he tries to make friends in school. He started with this line, but then he ends up being misinterpreted by his classmates. One of his classmates thought he was too quiet, and he was asked if he had autism. I don't know if kids understand this word, but that's quite a heavy, word to digest. And then I said, "Do you think you have autism?" And then he said, "No, I don't think so." He says he chooses to be quiet because he wants to listen to the teacher, or start working with his homework, because he doesn't like to bring work from school and he wants to enjoy his night. And then he needs to be quiet because his classmates are loud and he could not hear his teacher. He also thinks that he cannot get along comfortably with his classmates whose attitudes are unlike his. He does not like to sit with other kids at lunchtime. And here's why. Listen to this. He brings food because the only plant-based food that is served in the cafeteria, school cafeteria, is salad. So he wants to bring his own food. And besides, he said, he can tell that other kids can make fun of his food if he sits with them. So he'd rather just sit with his twin brother or by himself. Then he went to explain that he feels annoyed at the thoughts in his head. He said, "In my head, it says you are different. You are not like other kids. Because you don't act like them, talk like them, eat what they eat, You are not normal. Maybe that's why other kids don't like to hang out with you. These thoughts gave him mixed bad feelings about himself, and his mind and his heart could not make sense of what others are saying about him and what he thinks of himself. Does anybody relate to this? I can relate to that. The feeling of needing to be more understood and fitting, not just in school, but in other areas of our lives. I bet we all do feel this way sometimes, or more often. At work, with our friends, with our family, and the society as a whole. Does it matter, Mom? That's my son's question. I replied, oh, yes. The fact that their words made you cry, feel, and change the way you acted and see yourself tells you whatever that is in your mind, in your head, is an important matter that you should be checking out. We should know that whatever disturbs our focus, generates negative feelings, and make us act strangely and unlovingly to ourselves, disrupts our inner peace. Now, how do you deal with it? Do you push yourself to be like them so you can blend in? Or do you stay and defend until they listen? Or do you walk away and move on? You see, feeling at peace with our mind, with your mind, is a wonderful state we should all strive for. Inner peace allows us to experience inner calm, clarity, and sense of contentment, even when our environment is not or does not feel that way. When our mind is calm, it can see nobody but you. Your priorities, your aspirations, your whys. When your mind is calm, it is strong. And when you have a strong mind, you have a strong body. A strong body needs a strong mind. There is power. And I tell you that there is power in having a peaceful mind. When you are at peace with your mind, you do not allow the opinion of others to build a prison for yourself. When your mind is calm and therefore strong, you will learn to use the opinion of others as your stepping stone to rise above your situation and manifest your true potential. This cannot be far from the reality that most people are in, that we are in. When you decide to get your body in shape and start caring for yourself through dietary and healthy lifestyle adoption, you will not care. You will not care what others will say to you or about you. If they think you are crazy to change what you eat, you sound ridiculous for saying no to alcohol, and look weird doing the meditation, it all sounds crazy for them, but not for you. And that's perfectly okay. That's their opinion. Their opinion remains their opinion unless you believe it to be true. Remember, you have the responsibility to make your own opinion. You gotta make your own opinion. Know that your opinion can also be the same as other people, but make sure you do not copy theirs. What do I mean by that? You need to think it through. If that's what you really want, that's what you really believe. So, I told my son, so what if you are different? So what if you eat different? So what if you think different? So what if you act different? If you do what most kids do, you get what most kids get. If you eat what most people eat, you get what most people get. If you want to achieve different outcome in your life and in your health, you must break free from the prison that others have put you in. Are you with me? Are you with me? Avoid looking for reasons why you don't belong. Stop that. If you're constantly searching for evidence that you don't belong in this world, in their world, I can guarantee you 100% you will find those reasons why you don't belong in them. Why? Because you're different. You want to be different. Instead, realize your worth and your belongings are not up for negotiation with others. You carry your true value within your heart. And nobody can steal that away from you. So stop serving time. Stop serving time in a prison they built in your mind. That's what I told my son. Now, easier said than done. I know that. We all do struggle. But how are we going to do this? How can we get out of the prison cells? That maybe it's us who built it or other people have built it in our mind. Well, cultivate inner peace within our mind. Here are my 5 simple strategies that can help you cultivate peace within your mind that I also taught my son. Here's number 1. Make sure your thoughts are yours, not borrowed or fake, but your true intention. Number 2, practice mindfulness meditation. Meditation teaches you to observe your thoughts without judgment. In meditation, you just allow bad intrusive thoughts to pass in your mind without getting caught up in them, without changing the way you feel and the way you act. Reflect on what you are grateful for to shift your focus from negative to positive thoughts. It's as simple as counting your blessings. Number 3, accept and let go. Accept things as they are and let go of attachments to outcomes or past events. Embrace imperfection and let go of the need to control everything. And this is one of my favorite lines. And I'm sharing this with you. Number 4, healthy habits. Engage in regular exercise, eat predominantly a whole food, plant-based diet, get enough sleep, and cut off your toxic relationship with food, with alcohol, with cigarettes, with sweets, with processed foods, and to some, drugs. Number 5, limit negative influences. Be mindful of the information that you get from other people or from the media that you consume. Surround yourself with people that are uplifting and positive, and the content that you are consuming in social media, limit exposure to negativity. This can help you create a more peaceful and positive mindset. So, after spending like 4 days of an hour-long sessions with my son every day for 4 days, That's a cognitive behavioral therapy and mind coaching and positive thinking and psychology. I got him back. I got his mood back. Now he's spending time with us out of his room, talking to us. I know that was his true self. He came out of that prison that his classmates were trying to put him in. Well, remember, the finding peace in your mind is a journey. That is a journey. It's not an overnight thing that you change. It takes time, so we need to be patient. Be patient with yourself and celebrate small victories along the way. Embrace the process of, changing for growth, not for detention, and enjoy the peace of a calm and content mind. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you'll make it a Sunday routine to join me live here on Lifestyle Changers MD. Videos are recorded. Feel free to share and replay as often as you want to. I'm here live every Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific Time or 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And to my kababayans in the Philippines, it's 11 p.m. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next week. Bye for now.